You're not here. Why is he not here anyway?
Maybe you have something to do.
That's something to do.
Prior engagement.
Prior engagement. Okay. All right. So today what we're going to cover is some Firebase deployment. Does anyone know what Firebase is? Have you guys heard of it? Sounds familiar, right? Okay. So what Firebase is the service provided by Google. They were bought out by Google. And they allow you to do some different things. So one thing that we can do with Firebase is that we can deploy what's called static websites. And what I mean by that is I mean a website that doesn't have a server behind it. Now, the other cool thing about Firebase too, though, is that you can create some standalone functions that you may want to run as some kind of a back-end API. So today we're not really going to get into that. We're just going to do the deployment part, but know that if you did have a full stack application where you've got the front end and the back end, you could feasibly put a back end using Firebase functions, all right? And then you could have the full shebang. So let's just talk about how we can get this deployment going. I'm going to go to just the Firebase console here. So if you go to firebase.google.com, whoa, and then go to the console. Actually, I think we want to go to console.firebase.google.com. What just happened there?
You said gooch.
Googe. Wow. All right. This is what I was looking for. Our friendly little fire icon. Cool. So this is our main console here, and you can see that I don't currently have any projects set up. So in order to create a project, it's quite simple. Just click the Create a Project button. Nice. Let's do that. And let's give a name to this project. So we'll just call it Dojo. Wait, what?
Tom's demo.
Tom's Demo? Hey, I like that.
Tom's demo.
Tom's Demo. Okay. You got to come down here and accept the Firebase terms, so that's cool. Now. Okay, and then we've got some options here, so we can enable Google Analytics for this project. I think I'm just going to disable that for this time. I don't think we need them. Create project, creating your project, cool. Gives you this nice little product or progress circle, I should say. Meanwhile, you've got this developer just kicking it over here. He's hanging out. Yeah, that's Tom, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so our new project is ready. This is awesome. Let's continue. Oh, and by the way, so in order to access this Firebase console, obviously you just need to have a Google account. That's it. No other requirements as far as that goes. So here we are. We're at the main page for this app that we just set up. And let's go to the project overview. We've got our settings over here. These are the project settings. And you can see just some general information here. We've got a web API key. This would come in handy if you guys were going to use Firebase's authentication. We're not really going to do that today, but just so you know. And then down here, there's a public-facing name. You probably won't really need to do anything with that either. Cool. So if I click on Develop over here on the left-hand side, it'll open up the different possibilities that we have with Firebase. So again, we've got authentication, which we're not going to do today. Hosting is down here, and then we also have a database that we could potentially use as well. Does anyone know what kind of database that is? If you had to guess, SQL, NoSQL?
I'd say NoSQL.
Very good. It is a NoSQL database. Cool. So today we're just focusing on the hosting, so let's click on hosting. And here it's kind of telling us, it's kind of giving us some getting started guide here. Now notice how, wow, can you guys see that at all?
Vaguely.
That's pretty hard to see, right? All right, so that's okay. But basically what we need to do in order to make this work is we need to install Firebase tools. Now this is an NPM module, so you're going to need to have Node installed on your computer. So let's go into a terminal window here. Just open up my terminal. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So we'll say npm install, and I'll say -g because I want to make this globally available on my machine, right? So we'll say Firebase tools. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to basically initialize a project wherever we're trying to create on on our computer. All right. So let's see what's happening here. Oops. So good. This is all done installing. So what I thought we would do is we could just create a very basic Angular application. Pretty exciting. We don't really even need to do anything to it. We're basically just going to create it and then build it, and then we're going to deploy it to Firebase, right? So let's go back into our terminal here, and I will go to my Dojo folder. Let's just do ng new Firebase demo. Angular routing, sure, why not? CSS, fair enough. This might take a minute. All right. Or 10 minutes. Or 20. Oh, not so bad. We got some progress down here. So I'm happy about that.
I'm just gonna skip this part. I'm gonna skip this.
Tom, you're famous. Yes, he will. Cool. So one thing about Firebase that's very nice is they have a nice free tier for you guys. So you can, I want to say the amount that you can transfer through hosting is something like 10 gigabytes per month for free. Yeah, so it's not a limit that you're likely to actually hit unless you've got something big, something that's very popular.
And this is on your Google account that gives you, I think, 15 gigs, right? Or for free.
Yeah, that's a separate deal.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about like your email storage, right? Yeah.
Your own drive.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally. All right, so let's cd into that Firebase demo. Clear this out, and then the next thing that we want to do is we want to actually initialize a Firebase project inside here. So we should be able to say Firebase init. Okay, and then we've got this nice little CLI that we're using here, and it allows us to select which things we're going to be using. So for this project, as I said, we're not going to use authentication or the database. So I'm just going to say hosting right here. Press the space bar to select that guy, and then enter. Now it's asking, do I want to use an existing project or am I creating a new one? So I'm going to use an existing project. Let's try this. Okay, now as it happens, I'm actually logged in under a different account right now. So I should probably log out first and redo this. Okay, so we can say, if we're already logged in Firebase inside of our terminal, we can say Firebase logout. Okay, so it logs me out there. Now I'm going to say Firebase login. Okay, no. And then here, I want to use my Dojo account. Okay, you're going to have to allow this access here. Great. So now once you've successfully logged in, you can just close this tab on your browser and go right back to the terminal. Okay, so go back to the terminal. It's saying I'm now logged in under my Dojo email. So let's try the init all over again. So clear, I'll say Firebase init. And again, we're just using hosting here. So I'll select that guy. Let's use an existing project. We have Tom's demo. And then it's asking, what do I want to use as my public directory? Okay, so the public directory is actually where Firebase is going to be serving the files from. Now, in terms of Angular, I'm not sure if anybody, well, some of you guys probably remember because you're in Mean right now, but where are our built files going to be?
Like this button.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look here. It's probably going to be dist and then the name of our app, right? So something like Firebase demo. So I just want to make sure. Let's get a new tab. Let's just go to the same spot. So we're in our Firebase demo, ls. So if I go, we don't even have our dist folder yet. And the reason why is because we haven't yet built our project, right? So let's build it. So let's say ng build. Now we're compiling. 40%, there we go. Nice. There we go. So our files have been built, and you see that we should in fact have this dist directory. Yes, I have my dist folder right here. So let's take a look what's inside that. So if I say ls-la dist, inside there I have this Firebase demo folder, and that's where actually all of my built files are, right? All right. Cool. So let's tell that to Firebase. We're going to go into our dist, and then the next level in is going to be Firebase demo. Configure as a single page app, rewrite all URLs to index.html. You think that we want to do that? I'm going to say yes. because we are using a single page application framework, Angular, right? Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Firebase demo index.html already exists. Overwrite. No, don't overwrite that. Okay, cool. So my initialization is now complete. Let's see if we can actually deploy this. Okay. So the next command that I'm going to run, I'm going to say Firebase deploy, and then I'm going to say only hosting, because we're not deploying functions or authentication, anything else. Deploying to tom-s-demo. That's cool. Right. God, that's really hard for you guys to see, huh? Firebase deploy. Yeah. Imagine how simple that is, right? Yeah. Compared to some of the other deployments we've been working on. Okay. So look here. Wow, look at this. Our deployment is already complete. That's it. So we should be able to actually access this. It's telling us the hosting URL is here. Okay, so it's going to be https://tom-s-demo.firebaseapp.com. Let's try to visit that. There's our Angular app. That was pretty short and sweet, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We'll tell anyone else.
Yeah, so that's it. And maybe next time when we get together, we could touch on like deploying to Firebase functions or something like that. But yeah, as far as deploying some kind of single page application, super simple.
But Firebase is not strictly for single page apps, right? Can you deploy like a small website to it?
No, the thing is, you can't deploy the type of app that requires both a front end and a back end
Oh, okay.
working together. Yeah, you could have a situation where you had a static front end
Right.
and some functions running at the same time, and that static, front end is
Right,
making
yeah.
calls to the functions. You could do
Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
So, it's not necessarily the be all end all for
Right.
every situation, but for some situations it works really well, and you can expect pretty fast hosting. They also have a CDN connected to it, I believe, too. So, pretty nice.
And
Yeah.
it's HTTPS.
It is indeed. Yes, exactly. Like effortless configuration, right? So if you guys had a custom domain, you could also point that to this if you wanted this to show up at your custom domain.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.